Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As some of y'all may know, I am a very avid hooper. I play basketball a lot, and playing basketball a lot means you have to have a lot of high performance basketball shoes. Over the last year in 2025, I wore a total of 28 basketball shoes. Some of them I've sold, some of them I've had to return, some of them I was borrowing, and some of them are some of my favorite shoes that I own. So today I'm going to be rating all of them out of 10 and ranking them all 1 through 28. Starting off here with number 28 is the Nike Hyper Quickness TB 2015 release. It's a 4.1 out of 10 for me. I have a mismatch version. These shoes I've had since they released in 2015. They aren't very good, and the cushion was great when they were brand new, but the problem is the traction with time has become hard and does not stick to a court any longer. Number 27 is my Puma All Pro Nitro Poison Pinks. They're going to get a 4.5 out of 10. They're a pretty comfy shoe. They have pretty decent ankle support, but the issue with those is they pick up dust so easy and they don't really stick to the ground at all. I was wearing them for some of my Puma tournaments, especially the one I can remember is the one in Oklahoma City where I was just sliding around the court. I couldn't get any plants or anything with my foot. Every single time the shoe would just slide out from under me. That's why it gets a couple points knocked. But overall, it's not a terrible shoe. Number 25 is a shoe that I had to return because it did not really fit my play style. It is the Nike LeBron 22. I give it a 4.7 out of 10. It wasn't a terrible shoe. It had okay grip and good cushioning, but overall the shoe was just way too heavy for me, and it caused me to trip a lot and not ultimately reach my top speed. It's one of the heavier shoes on the market right now, and that's really the main issue with it. It's not easy to run in the shoe. Number 24 is my Puma MB.02 Queen City colorway LaMelo 2s. I'm going to give them a 5.2 out of 10. I don't hate the shoes, but I got them in my size, but they were about a half size to a full size bigger than most shoes I wear in that size that are Nike. I didn't love them. The grip wasn't great. I was kind of sliding around the court. They were a little bit too wide on my foot, and also they just weren't great around the foot. They didn't feel super comfy, and they felt like they were kind of cheap materials. Next up at number 23 is the Dame Certified 2.0 at a 5.4 out of 10. These shoes I exclusively wear outside. I got them for really cheap. They have a really durable rubber outsole, which is amazing indoors as well. They don't have the best comfort in the world, but it's definitely not bad. They are kind of a stiff shoe, doesn't really bend too easy, but they do have some of the best traction out of any shoe I own, and they are pretty durable. Number 22 is the Kyrie Fly Traps. They are going to get a 5.5 out of 10. They aren't a terrible shoe, but they're not super comfortable. They don't have super crazy good tech. The traction isn't amazing. So they're really just a middle of the line shoe. They're the budget line from the Kyrie Irving Nike brand from when he was with them. So not a terrible shoe, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it compared to some of the other Kyrie shoes that have released over the last few years when he was with Nike. They're not terrible though. They're just mid. At number 21, we have the LeBron 19 Lows. This is the Witness colorway. I'm going to give them a 5.6 out of 10. They aren't the greatest shoe in the world, but they do have pretty decent comfort, good traction on the court. Also, they are kind of bouncy feeling. They have the full air pockets in the back of the shoe. They are pretty durable. They're kind of like tanks, but they are also pretty heavy, which is the other problem I had with the LeBron 22s, which is why they're pretty far down on this list. Coming in at number 20 is a shoe that I wore all the way into the ground, which is why I had to sell it. The LeBron Witness 6 EP white colorway. It's going to get a 5.9 out of 10. It wasn't a terrible shoe by any means. It had a much smaller air pocket in the back of the shoe, and it was kind of stiff as well, but it had very good comfort when it was brand new, and the traction, I owned them for like 2 years and wore them almost every day to practice, and the traction never really deteriorated at all. So a very durable shoe, but again, another one from the budget line of the LeBrons. At number 19, we have the PG4 USA colorway, 6.0 out of 10. These shoes have a zipper on the front, which provide extra stability. They have pretty decent traction, and they were super comfortable when they were brand new, but this is another shoe that I wore a lot. Pretty durable, honestly. The outsole could be a little bit more durable, but not an overall bad shoe, and it does have a pretty decent amount of tech, and it's pretty comfy to wear. Here, tied at number 18, is the LeBron Witness 3 Silver Chrome colorway. I'm going to give these a 6.1 out of 10. They're one of the older ones out of the LeBron Witness brand. They don't have too much tech. They do have an air pocket here at the bottom of the shoe, but they are kind of comfy. They're low cut, which is nice for a basketball shoe, and they do have pretty decent stability. So overall, not a bad shoe, just a little bit older compared to some of these other ones. Next up at 18, we have the Zoom Freak 4 Paris Red Gray colorway. It is a 6.1 out of 10 for me. It's a pretty solid shoe. It does have a few issues with the traction. I was wearing it today on a semi-dusty court. I did have to wipe it a lot. But one thing I do like about it is it has the dual air pockets in the front of both sides of the shoe. It does have a few issues with the stability. I was kind of rolling around in it a little bit on sharp cuts, but it is a pretty comfortable shoe, and it is good for how much it was when it first came out. A pretty middle of the line shoe for me. At 17, we have the KD Trey 5 8 Black Aura Green colorway, 6.5 out of 10 for me. These is another shoe that I wore a ton, but when I first got it, it had great cushion, and it was a very bouncy shoe. I really liked wearing it. This whole bottom here is pretty foamy. It's a nice feel to it. Not a terrible shoe, but the traction didn't really hold up too well. It kind of deteriorated pretty fast. At 16, we have the Nike LeBron Witness 7 Lakers colorway. It's going to get a 6.5 out of 10. I really don't love the colorway. It's pretty bare bones, and I feel like it could be a lot better. But overall, as a shoe, it is not bad. It doesn't have the best comfort in the world, but it's very similar to the LeBron Witness 6 that I really liked as well. It's got the same air pocket in the same place in the back. Slightly different grip scheme on the bottom, and it's a little bit more comfortable, and it has a very nice padded tongue as well. Definitely not the greatest shoe that I own, but there is much worse that I could have had. Next up here at number 15, I have the Nike KD3 Aunt Pearl colorway. It's going to get a 7.2 out of 10, or excuse me, a 6.7 out of 10. This shoe is very good looking. It's probably my favorite looking shoe, or definitely top 2 or 3 that I own. It's got a very similar, the same shaped bottom as the KD4 Aunt Pearl, but slightly different grip pattern that you can see there. It's a pretty nice shoe. It holds up pretty well, but the only issue is that I've never seen in a shoe before is how skinny it is. It has me thinking about selling them at the moment. The toe box is very, very tight on my toes. It squeezes them when I play. It's kind of uncomfortable, and it's got a very weird curved shape. My foot feels like it's almost curved when I'm in them, but it does have pretty nice cushion. It's better than the KD4's cushion, but it definitely could be a better shoe if they just change the shape of it a little bit. At number 14, we have another shoe that I sold. It's the Nike LeBron 10 Sonic Yellow colorway. It's going to get a 6.9 out of 10. It's an older LeBron shoe, but it had pretty good comfort. It had the zoom pocket that went all the way around the shoe, which was really nice for impact protection. And it also did have a pretty wide toe box, which felt really good on my feet. And the cushion was actually, the traction was actually really good. I found them at a thrift store, and they're an older shoe. They came out in like 2013, but they still felt really good and didn't slip very much on the court. At number 13, we have the Nike Zoom Freak 3 low battery colorway. It's going to get a 7.1 out of 10. This is another shoe that's held up really well. I wore it for almost every single game in 8th grade. It does have a strap here on the front that helps with foot protection and stability. It's got an air pocket here in the front corner, not on the other side like the other Giannis is. Pretty great traction that stood up for a very long time, and overall a shoe that really just kept my foot really stable every single time I wore it. That was the best thing about these shoes, along with some pretty decent comfort. They're very good shoes, but they are a little bit stiff. At number 12 here, it might be surprising to a few people, we have the KD4 Aunt Pearl. It is going to get a 7.2 out of 10 for me. I really love how this shoe looks. It's probably my favorite looking basketball shoe I have. It's got really good grip. I've played on so many dirty surfaces, but I've never had any issues with the grip at all. I love the strap on it. It keeps my foot completely locked in every single time that I play. But the issue is, for me, the comfort. It's not the comfiest shoe in the world. It's also a retro, so they didn't pro-tro it and add any new designs or any like new tech into the shoe. It's got all the old technology, so it's not a super bouncy shoe either, and the comfort isn't amazing. It could be a lot better, but it's still one of my favorite shoes to own in my collection. At number 11, we have the Jordan Luka 3 Blurred Vision colorway, 7.4 out of 10. These shoes I thought I was going to own for a long time. I didn't love the colorway, but they were very comfortable. I didn't have any problems with the heel slippage like some people have said that they had. But then I played on a few dusty surfaces and they were sliding around like crazy. I did not like that at all. On clean courts, they weren't bad, but they still picked up dust at a pretty decent rate, so I had to return them before I ended up just completely messing something up because I was playing on such dusty shoes. Now entering the top 10, at number 10, we have the Nike Book 1 Halloween colorway. This shoe is going to get a 7.8 out of 10 from me. I really do like this shoe. It's got amazing comfort around the ankle here and the Achilles. It's got a nice fitted padding here. The tongue is also padded. It feels really good, and the entire inside of the shoe is padded as well. It's flat-footed, so it's like a lot of the retro shoes were, which is a little bit different, but I don't mind it. It's got really good traction, and it also has a air zoom unit in it. But the main issue I've had is the tongue kind of, when I have the shoe tied really tight, the tongue slides to the side a little bit and it gets uncomfortable. And also I've had some issues with the stability, but overall this is still one of the best shoes of the year. A lot of people love it, and it's one of the most popular in the NBA as well. At number 9, I have the Nike LeBron 21 Easter colorway. This is going to get a 7.8 out of 10 as well from me. I really do like this shoe. It is a little bit small on me, the size that I got, but I did wear it in a game. The forefoot felt really bouncy, which was good to go get rebounds and stuff in. It's got air zoom in the back, pretty comfy around the foot, and also it felt like it really protected my foot really well with stability. It's got a pretty decent design as well. It's one of the better shoes that I own, and I feel like it's pretty good for cutting and stuff. Also, I think that these are for ventilation and stuff to get sweat out of your feet. I'm not sure though. At number 8, one of my favorite shoes that came out this entire year, the AE2 Made with Love colorway. I really love this shoe. It's only going to get a 8.1 out of 10 for me, but still it's one of my favorite shoes. The only thing that's really bringing it down is it's kind of a heavier shoe and it's a little bit stiff. But I do have Victory insoles in it now, but even without the Victory insoles, it's still a very comfortable shoe. Around here, it's very good. It's got the Light Strike heel boost in here from Adidas, which makes it very just comfortable. The impact landing is good. Another issue a little bit is the traction wears off a little bit after a while, but I also wear these very often because they're one of my favorite shoes. They're pretty comfy. And though they are heavy, they are fun to wear, and because they're so bouncy and it's nice to have them. At number 7, we have a shoe that I borrowed from one of my friends at the time. It's the Nike Kobe 5 Year of the Eggplant. It's going to get 8.6 out of 10. I really just loved how good the traction on these shoes was, as well as the stability. I only wore them for 2 practices, but they felt really good. The comfort was good as well. On my jump shot when I was landing, some shoes I have knee pain when I land on my jump shot, but these felt really good and the cushion was really good as well, so they were overall really good shoes. At number 6, a shoe that I unfortunately had to return because it was a half size too small. The Nike LeBron 20 Violet Frost colorway. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. One of my favorite basketball shoes of all time. I cannot state enough how good the comfort on these was. They were the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn. They were also really lightweight and fit my foot really well. So they just fit well on the court. So it was very handy to have them because I felt like I could run easily. I felt like I could jump easier. And I felt overall more agile. And the grip was really good on them too. They grip to the court very well. Overall, probably one of the better shoes. I would definitely advise people to get them. At number 5, the Nike GT Cut 2. I'm going to give it a 9.2 out of 10. It is a shoe that, like, when you put it on, it just feels like a basketball shoe that makes you want to make sharp cuts and run sprints and stuff. It's got really good cushioning. It's got amazing traction, and it's lower to the ground and a little bit bouncier, so it's really good for cutting and for jumping and everything, and it feels really good on your foot. Number 4, another shoe that I only was able to have for a limited time, the Nike Kobe 6 Italian Camo colorway. It's going to get a 9.4 out of 10. I was only able to wear it for one practice, but that was one of my favorite practices of all time. The shoe was just made out of such high quality materials. It was very cushiony, and the impact protection felt really good every single time I landed. It had really good grip on the court as well, and it felt like it just hugged my foot very well and kept my foot stable and locked down. Definitely one of the best basketball shoes of all time. I really understand the hype after getting to wear it. At number 3, another shoe that I wore absolutely into the ground, but for good reason, the Nike KD 17 Sunrise. It's going to get a 9.5 out of 10, tied for second place. It is a shoe that I really like the colorway. I think it's a good looking shoe, but when it's a little bit deteriorated now, but when I first got it, it was like the Book 1, great cushion all in here, an even better padded tongue, and in here it was just all so cushiony on your foot. It felt great. Great impact protection every single time you land. It bent pretty well. Does have a little bit of movement, but that's like what you would want. It has a carbon fiber plate inside, which is very good. It helps you feel a little bit more springier. These shoes are just amazing, and I feel like they're one of the greatest basketball shoes of all time in my opinion. At number 2, we have the Nike LeBron 12 Low Court Purple colorway. It's going to get a 9.5 out of 10. This is another shoe that's really been worn in for me, but for good reason as well. It's got the air bubble back here for increased heel support and for also just like that cushiony feel on the heel. It's got a great fit on your foot. No matter what size, what shape foot you have, it laces up really tight and it just feels like it fits your foot well. I think the reason for that is because the tongue is part of the actual shoe itself. It's not like a separate tongue like what most shoes are that like you can flap up and down. It's literally attached to the shoe right there. And these shoes, they have great grip. They feel really bouncy. They're great for making cuts. They get a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, they're tied for second place. They're definitely one of my favorite shoes of all time, and they just feel really good for playing the game of basketball at a high level. And at number 1, no doubt in my mind, my favorite basketball shoe of all time, the Nike GT Cut 3, the Vapor Green colorway. It gets a 9.8 out of 10 for me. These shoes are just everything that you would want in a basketball shoe. The first time I laced them up, they just felt like what I would need for the game of basketball. They've got really good cushion on the inside, but they're very lightweight as well. They don't have too much cushion. They have the Zoom X here, which is very, very good feeling on your feet. The traction sticks to the court very well. And it's amazing for making cuts, good for agility. These are my game-only shoes. I've never worn these for a practice because just how high level they are. They're amazing shoes. And I've honestly never even tried on a pair of shoes that I've liked as much for the game of basketball as these right here.